Have you heard of Elizabeth Cotten? She composed the now folk standard Freight Train in her early teens. She was a massive influence on the likes of Bob Dylan, Joan Baez, Taj Mahal, the Grateful Dead, and the Beatles, just to name a few. At a young age, she started learning to play music on her brother's banjo. Her brother was right-handed, and she was left-handed. So she learned to play it upside down. Her mother eventually saved enough to buy her a guitar. Since she had learned to play the banjo upside down, she took what she already knew and learned to play the guitar upside down. That would be a right-handed guitar strung for a right-handed player, flipped over. I would demonstrate that for you, but first off, I'm right-handed, and second, I simply can't play it. This led to her developing a completely unique and incredibly difficult picking style, where she played the bass line with her fingers and the melody with her thumb, the opposite of all other picking methods that I am aware of. Her playing style is usually referred to as Cotten Picking, capital C-E-N. This is not to be confused with the other use of this phrase, which has racist connotations dating back to the practice of enslavement. If you hear someone using that phrase with an O-N, hiss at them like they're a cat scratching your furniture and say, no, casual bigotry is not welcome nor tolerated here. On the other hand, if someone tells you that your playing is cotton picking good, you can thank them for what is a true compliment. Elizabeth set aside her music when she married Frank Cotten at the age of 17 and focused on being a mother. She later divorced Frank and found employment as a maid and nanny to the children of Ruth and Charles Seeger. Ruth was a composer and Charles was a musicologist with a specialty in folk and traditional music. If you've never heard of Charles, you've very likely heard of his son from his first marriage, Pete Seeger. While working for them, Elizabeth took up guitar again and re-taught herself the picking style she developed 40 years earlier. The Seeger family helped Elizabeth, or Libba as the Seeger children called her because they couldn't pronounce the word Elizabeth, record and release an album and book performances across the U.S. They also helped her secure copyright after an English folk group recorded and claimed writing credit for her song, Freight Train. Elizabeth spent the rest of her life as a musician, eventually winning a Grammy for Best Traditional Performance at the age of 92. 2 years before her death. Elizabeth is now considered a foundational talent in folk and traditional music. She showed the world something truly unique and influenced a generation of musicians during and after her lifetime. And I'm just scratching the surface here. Go listen to her recordings and bask in their beauty. And if you're a guitar player, tip your hat to Elizabeth Cotten, a true American icon. And I'll see you next time.